Okay, so for some of you that have seen a recent video I put on, I'm doing a few little video clips just on a whiteboard like this, so you can see a few ideas I've got about how to do a few things within coaching and training. Today I'm just going to do a very brief idea of setting up a practice session, whether you're at a club or a school or wherever it might be, with the view to kind of keeping people busy and not just relying on having a long queue in a net and having people busy in nets. So I'm trying to get things that allow people to be training different skills, but largely try to be self-sufficient most of the time rather than requiring a coach. So whether your nets are in the middle of the pitch or out the side, most clubs will have 2 nets. Now obviously some will have 3, 4, 5, fantastic for them. Some might be limited to 1. Doesn't make too much difference here. I'm just basing this on a fairly generic club setup where there'd be 2 nets available. Some of them might do them out in the middle there, if they've got a centre wicket, which would be fantastic. Some of them might be out on an Astra on the side, whatever, doesn't matter. But what happens often the time is you get your 2 wickets, 2 nets here set up, and everyone's involved in that, and that is the focal point. And it can still be the focal point, but we just want to try and get some other things set up. So things I like to have going on, which again manage themselves dead easy, and hopefully not overly expensive in terms of supplying equipment. So a couple of catch-it boards into the side net, put them in the side net, put them in the back net, wherever. That's really easy way to get a load of catching practice in, so get some good volume in. Obviously you've got the net backing up there, which means you've got, if someone does miss it, you don't have to go chasing the ball forever, but you can get a thrower and a catcher on each one, so it's easily 4. You can easily probably get more than 4 people involved in that. So just putting 2 catch-it boards down, we can rotate people around some catching drills, so you're not going to want people bowling all the time. There may even be some people who don't want bowling particularly a lot of the time, so catch-its over there. Next thing that I like to do, these are stumps by the way, so apologies for a run a 3 station. So basically it's just exactly what it says, it's running a 3, and then we make it a repeated run a 3 session where you might do them in blocks of 3, blocks of 6, blocks of 9, depending on the fitness level of your participants, and you're probably going to have it kind of slightly different for each individual, or maybe just have an advanced level and a slightly simpler one. But essentially what we do is run a 3, so 1, 2, 3, rest for 10 seconds, which you usually do on a walk back, and then run a 3 again. We'll do that 6 times. Again, adjust your rest breaks, adjust your repetitions, but really simple way to get some specific fitness in for the batters. Yeah, dead easy. Not the most popular thing in the world, but it's something, if you can establish it as part of their routine, so in every session you want maybe two blocks of 6 run of 3s, fantastic bit of fitness you got going on there. Right, next thing is I'll do our little catching drill. So this is the one, you might use the one that I did last week or a couple of weeks back now, which is the triangular station. You've got someone in the middle, and basically you can have 4 people catching at the same time. You might even want to go with 6 in there, and they're just going to hit a ball out. So we've got someone stood on each set of stumps, so someone stood here, someone stood here, someone there, and then we've got our catchers in the deep. Coach in the middle or player in the middle hits the ball out, then hits the next ball out, then hits the next ball out. See my previous video for more details on that one, but really easy way to get lots of people taking flat return catches or high catches out of the sky. So we've got 2 forms of catching going on there, and fairly productive because we've got six people catching and 1 person hitting. So if everyone does a couple of minutes of hitting, everyone else has got a high level of practice in, so you can rotate around who's doing that. If you have a coach on hand, fantastic. Probably though, more realistically for a lot of people, there won't be another coach there, there won't be a coach there at all. So someone who's maybe not too heavily involved in bowling can take a lead on hitting some of the balls for things like that. I'll just move that out of the way. I'll just put that is usually where there are 3 sets of stumps that can go up there. So we've already got something that's keeping us busy. We've got 4 people in there. We can have a couple working together at a time over here. We can have 5, 6, 7 over there. So we're already keeping people away. We're just trying to think about different skills we want in there. So we've got a bit of flat catching. We've got a little bit of fitness. We've got a little bit of high catching and return catching there with some throwing in. So that's a good start. Next, what I put in is a little bit of target throwing. And again, we're using the net as our sort of line of defence. So again, you can work as 1s, 2s, 3s, but very simple. And we can work different angles here. If we might have a couple of people working there, and it's just simple roll out, attack, pick up, throw the stump down, have yourself a good 6, 8, 10 balls ready, so you can get quite a few done in a row without having to collect them in. You've got this obviously as a line of defence. The other option you might want to do, which turns it into a little circuit, is you take your second man out and you put your second man here, backing that up. So we've got an overarm throw at a stump, backed up, then throw back to the start. Again, this person doesn't have to have a mitt, he doesn't have to be a coach. He can simply be a person there. So we put another stump in there, and it's just a throw at the stump, throw back over the top. So we've set up our own mini circuit, and that's such an easy one to do. It's not going to take lots of people to do it. You can run it with 3 people very easily, but you're getting some throwing in, you're getting some receiving of the ball in on the floor, and a little bit of receiving the ball from a catch again. So that's a really good one. So we always like to have something simple like that set up. The only other thing that I put on is a box run usually as well, and these are just things that I always have on. Now, box run's one of my favourite little drills. So a box run would usually go up here, and I'll put this in the corner because this would usually go in the corner. Right, the box run usually goes in behind the net. Again, reason for it's that little bit of backing up from the net in case someone misses it. But really simple. Got 4 cones, 1 stump, a player and a coach on the stump, and the player's just going to run a zigzag pattern from cone to cone, exactly like that. So across, 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 and back. Each time he runs and hits a cone, a ball gets rolled into his path. So when he hits the first cone, a ball will get rolled into his path here, and he'll pick it up, little backhand flick in. When he gets to the second one over here, third one, etc. So we've now got some real dynamic speed and agility with some skillful or a range of skills in terms of throwing and returning a ball. And that is exhausting, by the way. So if you're doing alternating on that, and you do say 5 of them, that will be pretty horrific for a lot of people if it's just a 30-second gap as they switch over. A little bit of fitness over here, a little bit of fitness and some fielding skill in there, some basic catching work, some throwing at the stumps, and some receiving, and then some high catching over there. So we've ticked quite a few boxes. There are obviously loads of things you can do, but the key here is simply get it set up and try and be repetitive in how you set it up. Because if you put something in a slightly different place, so one day your box run is over here, you know what cricketers are like, they'll be completely confused instantly. So keep things in the same place if you can. Keep the same drills for a period of time. I know people will think that being different all the time and creative is what we want, so people are constantly having different forms of skills being challenged. I understand that. However, in reality, explaining new drills every week isn't what you want. So I would say run the same setup for maybe 4 to 6 weeks, assuming that is you're working on 1 or 2 training sessions a week. Run it for 4 to 6 weeks, and then you can change it again, and you can put some new drills in there. Obviously, being aware of the things that you want to focus on, but at the moment, keep it quite simple. Keep it the same week to week, so there's minimal explanation, and then try and keep managing people as best you can. What I like to do is, if you're only one coach, if you can get someone else to try and do the management of players and sending people around, it allows you to coach. You don't want to get stuck in a position where you're just doing logistics management and you're pushing people from one drill to the other drill to the other drill. You're not actually doing any coaching. So if you can get someone to kind of man that and try and push people around, fantastic. If you can't, hopefully the guys can do it themselves. Otherwise, it might just take a little bit of prompting from you as you going along. But that's how I set it up. You'll notice that all my drills are above the line there, which means they're not going to get peppered with cricket balls when people are batting and hitting them out of the net. So we should be relatively safe. But that's how we set it up. Hopefully that's something you can try. If you've got any different ideas or other things you'd like to add in, like turning your high catch into a rope catch or something like that, fantastic. More ideas the better, but good to have 3, 4, 5 different drills that set up so you can send away a few people at a time.